the arrival of Unai Emery at Aston Villa. Everyone's trying to work out what has he done. Would you mind telling us what you think he's done that's brought such success to that football club?
I remember the night before the Man United game, he told me, I think I was only on 3 goals come Christmas time, and he said to me, by the end of the season, you're going to score 15 goals. I've watched all your clips at Brentford. You're an amazing player. I don't need to buy another striker. I'm going to stick with you. So he had all this faith in me before I'd even played a game for him. And that's just something you want to hear, really. And I thought, 15 goals, like I'm only on 3 goals. There's another 12 goals in, maybe like 18 games. He obviously does have a lot of belief in me.
And do you know how many you scored between then and the end of the season?
15.
Yeah,
I got the 15. I got to 15, yeah.
Because I remember before that, Villa were being linked with lots of strikers. I think strikers were coming into the football club. I'm interested in what it did for you when he said, I don't need another striker. You're the guy.
Yeah, obviously it's not nice to be seeing other players being linked with the club, especially in your position, because it feels like, why would you look elsewhere when you've got something there? There obviously is some doubt around you. You never know with those rumours if they're true or not, but when he said that he wasn't going to buy anyone, I think he sold Danny Ings, actually, who I thought was an unbelievable player, and he said he sold him in January and said, you're going to play. So yeah, having that faith put into me was nice, and kind of had a little bit of pressure off of me, actually. It kind of took pressure off of me because he was so confident I was going to do well.
I've loved looking at your story so far, and there's this recurring theme of proving people wrong, whether it is playing in the lower leagues as a young guy and wanting to make that move, whether it's finally getting the chance in the Premier League after a couple of disappointing playoff finals for Exeter and Brentford. You've played in a team that's qualified for the Champions League. You've been the standout English striker in the Premier League for a season. What would you still love to achieve?
For me personally, to win something, a team award, at the end of the season, you want to try and come away with something, or even at the end of your career, it may be great saying I've scored this amount of goals or I won this individual award, but as a team, saying I won the FA Cup or the League or the Euros, World Cup, they're the things that you want to have and tell your grandkids and things like that. So I think winning a trophy would be the one.
So I'd like to know the moment that you actually felt like you belonged in the Premier League. Can you remember that? On High Performance, we talk a lot about ownership, about taking charge of the areas of your life that others leave to chance. Because when you step up and lead, you create the outcomes you want. And that's what Hive is here for, to put you in control of your energy. With solar, you can get the sun to work for you by turning sunlight from your roof into greener energy. And the control doesn't stop there. With the Hive app, you can track, manage and optimize your energy all in one place. Clear, simple, built around you. And this, I think, is the real game changer. When you produce more energy than you need, you can sell it back to the grid, meaning the energy companies are paying you. At High Performance, look, we believe the future belongs to those who take action, and Hive puts that power directly in your hands, in your home. It's your energy, your rules. Hive, know your power. Visit hivehome.com to find out more. Output and savings varies by season, electricity usage and system size. Paid for surplus requires an eligible SEG tariff.
I scored against Arsenal. There was a moment where I was one-on-one with Saliba and I did a step over and scored, and I kind of did a celebration like I was like pointing to myself saying I'm here. I was, you get carried away when you're in celebrations, but I actually, that's when the belief kind of kicked in and I was really confident in my own ability and thought, just felt confident and wasn't afraid to admit it, that, I deserved to be where I am. And I knew from then on I kicked on. My mindset changed completely, and I'm not shocked by the season that I've had this year because of all the hard work I've put in previously and learnt new things along the way. And like I said, that consistency has got me to where I am today. And it's only going to get better from here onwards. The manager, when he first came in, said to me, you were going to score a lot of goals, and he put belief in me. Sometimes I was listening to the fans, seeing their reactions, but now I don't take it in really. I enjoy it. I love the noise. I quite like the abuse sometimes, actually. So
Is that right?
I think there's actually a clip where I scored away at Sheffield United, and you can see one of the fans is giving me some abuse, and I'm just laughing at him when I've scored by the corner flag. I quite enjoy it now, actually. The old me would have been a little bit shy and not giving anything back, probably scared about what people's reactions would be or what people would say on social media, saying you can't do this, that. Whereas now I don't really care, to be fair. And I think it's quite funny. I felt like if someone's giving it to you, you can give it back, and it's fair game, really. I think the mind is probably the most powerful thing, because people they train every day physically in the gym, but it takes a lot to change your mindset.
So when did that relationship begin with the life coach?
Just before the boss come in.
What, at Villa?
At Villa, yeah.
Okay.
So before Unai Emery came in, I tried to use him before, and then I thought, this guy's kind of... I was just like, no. I had, I think, a couple good games, and I was like, I don't really need to use him anymore. Whereas I've learned that, it's consistency. And like I said, being consistent every day, no matter if you have a good day or a bad day. If I haven't scored, or if I've scored 3 goals, I'll still speak to him. I still speak to him before a game and after games, to make sure I debrief on everything, and then I can move on to the next game. He's very blunt, but he says to me, I remember I scored a hat-trick after Brighton, and he said, like, well done, but it doesn't mean anything. And he's right, it doesn't, because I've still got the next game to perform in. So if I'm just sat there celebrating, going, get the beers out.
I'm the man.
I'm the man. But it doesn't mean anything, because I've got another game on Tuesday. So as good as I've done, you need to move on to the next. But also when I've had a bad game, but that doesn't mean anything. He says, you've got the next game to put it right.
And how much has he helped your mindset in the game? Because I can't remember the game because I'm useless at remembering these things, but I remember seeing you, it was either a ball across the box and you totally missed it, or you connected with it but badly. And literally 30 seconds later, you're scoring a goal. And I wonder whether he's been instrumental in you realising that mistake is that moment. It doesn't mean the rest of the game is going to go the same way.
Yeah, exactly. I think for a start, you've got to be there to miss it. I'd rather miss a chance than not have any chances the whole game. So always trying to look at it in a positive way. If I've missed, I try and, it's kind of like laugh or cry. So I try and look up and smile and be like, yeah, kind of play it off, really. Obviously, deep down, I wish I had scored or taken that opportunity. But I never look at it as like a miss. I just say it as it's an opportunity. I haven't taken that opportunity, I've missed